then, oh, just look at that. 5th of April 2024. I'm here in a town called Penang in South Australia. Middle of nowhere, yet there is a windmill museum behind us, including Australia's largest windmill, or they say that. Tomorrow, 6th of April, around 4 a.m, we will be starting off on our Ironbutt ride, where both the bikes will attempt to do around 1650 kilometers in less than 24 hours. This is called the Saddle Sore 1000. 1000 is 1000 miles, which is around 1609 kilometers. So we will be doing a little bit more just to be on the safer side. If you don't know what Ironbutt is, please check out the link in the description below. I have made a separate video on it. This will be my 4th Ironbutt, and I have done Ironbutt on various kind of motorcycles. The fastest so far, I think, was on the M1000RR in Germany. The first one was on this H2 in 2017, right here in Australia. But that was a part of my much bigger ride, 20,000 kilometers around Australia. And this time, instead of Ducati, we have the Aprilia Tuono V4. Now, talking about the bikes first, this is obviously less streamlined than the H2. But because the H2 has a tank bag, you can't really lean and enjoy the benefits of the windscreen. The Tuono is very simple, to the point. V4, a lot of grunt, little better mileage. It's almost 100 horsepower less than the H2. The H2 being very powerful motorcycle, this one especially is reflashed to produce around 270 at the crank. Has its own challenges. More fuel, faster you get, it drinks more fuel. The faster you go means more fuel stops. The slower you go means you'll take more time. It is just a matter of finding the right spot. There are very few fuel stations across the Nullarbor. In fact, the longest distance between two fuel stops is 192 kilometers. The route for this Ironbutt was from the Nullarbor Roadhouse in South Australia all the way across to Perth in Western Australia. 6th April 2024, and we are at Nullarbor Roadhouse about to start our Ironbutt Aprilia H2. Time is 5:59 p.m. The time in Perth is 3:26. Console of the H2. Trip is 0. 37,585. Trip is 0. Kilometer is 5,477. This is the GPS. It shows 1,624 kilometers. Here, East Perth, Western Australia. Let's do this. This is xBhp and this is XOR. So, all the best to both of us. Let's hit it. Raining little bit. It's super cold as well. It's like 1 or 2 degrees. Look here. Absolutely nothing. The moment the street light ends, this is where you ride into. I've never seen a road darker than this in my life. Right into the portal. There is nothing at all. Let's go. First kilometer of the Ironbutt, and here we go into the Nullarbor. This is cold as hell. The border village is our next stop, 183 kilometers. As you could see, there is almost nothing. A little bit of fog. At least there is some visibility coming in because of the sunrise. But this has to be one of the most wonderful experiences you can. You are crossing Nullarbor. There is one thing with crossing Nullarbor like this, watching the sunrise. It's altogether a different story. Here we are. The sun is starting to rise. This is amazing. This is looking absolutely stunning. Look at this. Nothingness all around us.
I'm flying the drone as the sun rises, and we have done 170 kilometers, which is 10% of what we are supposed to do. And this is one of the most beautiful sights that I am looking at right now in the drone. The sun has still not risen yet completely. This ride so far, it's been a very low temperature ride. In fact, I think it must be close to 0 degrees. But right now, so far so good. 1,500 kilometers to go, something like that. Someone asks me or you, why do you do this? This is why the sun is rising behind me. We are on our way to our first fuel stop, and right now 1446 kilometers are left, and this has also started showing fuel. And look at this, a lot of mist. So I've just had this thought that when we are riding west and the sun is rising from the east, that is behind us, are we delaying the sunrise a little bit? Today is going to be a long day. 1700 kilometers to be done.
We are stopping for a fuel break. Now we are entering in Western Australia, and it says we have to stop for some kind of surveillance.
Hey, mate, no fresh fruit at all, no vegetables,
No.
no honey, no seed or soil,
Sorry?
no honey.
No, nothing. So they actually just checked if we are carrying anything which is not allowed in Western Australia. At our fourth or fifth fuel stop, and we have done quite a few kilometers, but not enough. We are still 1155 kilometers from our destination. We are here at a BP fuel pump. We also have Ultimate here, which is the 98 octane fuel. And if you don't know, BP is actually the parent company of Castrol Power One, and we have been putting Castrol Power One in all our machines, and I must say that it has been performing exceedingly well, especially on this ride where you are constantly pulling on straight.
Behind me is a road train. I want to see a very long one. But talking about long, we still have a long way to go. 1155 kilometers. We have done almost 500 kilometers. It's probably the most beautiful Ironbutt that I have done so far. Experiencing the sunrise on the Nullarbor plains, it was absolutely surreal. We have done some performance mods which are not related to the Ironbutt, but still they actually make the bike feel faster, sound better and go quicker. So we have got the BMC air filters to start with in both the bikes. Without good tires, no matter how good your machine is, I think everything is going to fail. The Fredestein Centauro NS tires have been performing really well. I mean, I didn't expect them this to be so good, very frankly. We have had the ADB Works fuel bladder here. So these two are full. right now with 5 liters. But we hadn't have a chance to use them, which is a good thing. Panniers from Rhinox, our helmets, everything, they are holding up quite well. Grand pit stop seat that we have, the air seat, and this actually really helps. I mean, I can't state how important this is, especially if you're doing Ironbutt. This literally is made for this ride. So this is Australia's longest straight road, and I mean, there are a lot of straight roads here, but this one apparently doesn't even have a 1 degree of turn, and 146.6 kilometers to be exact. Last time I did was on this very motorcycle, and I remember finishing the tank in 85 kilometers because I was doing good speeds.
This actually invites us to rev like that, but it also invites us not to rev like that, because the next fuel station is about 182 kilometers. So we better preserve and conserve our fuel. And here we go. But for the first time, I have sent, oh, just look at that. This road invites us to do something like this.
We are on Australia's longest straight road on the Ironbutt, and we have just stopped after doing a very good run. Now we are going to test how much temperature is the pedestine Centauro NS tire is showing. You can see here, this is 59.6 degrees centigrade. Is 40 degrees, which looks accurate to me, because of course the tire will be hotter than the tarmac. Because this is more at 56. It's going to get much hotter, and so let's go on.
Here, this is how we get onto our bikes with so much of luggage. But that is not something which is of any hindrance to us when we are riding. Wow.
So here it is. If you want to time travel, this is how you do it. You travel across Australia, and if you want to do it in one day, you do Ironbutt like we are doing. So right now we have gained 45 minutes, which is actually a good thing, because if we were coming from Perth to Nullarbor the other way, we would have lost time. And right now this is good, because by the time we reach Perth, it will still be open. And talking about time zones, it's a very complicated situation here, especially across the Nullarbor. There is another time zone which is not official, but it is followed. We just exited that, and that is followed in the 350 kilometers.
We have done 718 kilometers already in just 8 hours. There we will have our next fuel fill up. Hitting the highway, and just look at the S2 running. Whoa, look at that, man, look at the size.
So here we have arrival distance as 822 kilometers. 822 kilometers also done. The exact midpoint. It's sunset, saw sunrise many hours ago, and now we have done almost 1100 kilometers, till 548 kilometers to go. And I think 6 hours we'll reach Perth at around 12:30 a.m. We gained 2.5 hours riding west today. All right, let's go.
We have completed almost 1400 kilometers. 370 more kilometers are left.
All right, so we have done 1636 kilometers according to the trip meter here on the H2, and only 27 kilometers left here. And now, as you can see, the beautiful road behind me, this is Perth. It has started, and the final destination is just 27 kilometers from here. So total 1650 kilometers, which is very good. Like for an Ironbutt, I think you should always do around 30 kilometers more. And I think this is one of the easiest Ironbutts that I have done out of the 4. Tires, Frederstein tires, Centauro NS. Look at these tires here. You know, this is, from Sydney to Perth, the tire is in great condition. It didn't overheat. This was the main thing that ensured our safety. And 1700 kilometers in less than 24 hours, much less than 24 hours. And how can we also forget Castrol Power, which has been our partner, a reliable partner. They are not only making good oils, but they're doing a lot for the community also. So we need to acknowledge that, and we need to support them as well.
I am still very excited. As you have rightly said, it's been almost 1700 kilometers, but it is not feeling like that. Maybe the reason is the machines that we have been riding on and the support that we have got from the partners are there.
26 kilometers left for our destination, but we have already done 1637 kilometers according to the trip meter. Arriving at our hotel here, Duxton in East Perth. So guys, this is a summary of our ride, and this also you can also see if you save this as a route, let's say this one, it will calculate the whole route. So 1625 kilometers in 14 hours 38 minutes. So guys, we are back from Australia and here at the Motor Villa in India. And do we seem exhausted? Well,
not at all.
Actually, when we did those 1650 kilometers, it was the easiest. Like I said, we didn't feel exhausted at all.
Absolutely. Like for me, it was like, did we just do Ironbutt?
Yeah, so I think we are getting younger, older, I don't know about that. But what I want to tell you right now is that we are going to apply for the certificate, and that should come because we already have
That's
3
just the
certificates.
document.
Yeah, that's just a document, and we don't want to hold this video just because of a certificate. But anyway, if you want to see that, you can check out the link in the description, and probably you will find it over there when it's out, the Instagram post link.
Yes.
But here's the thing, this Ironbutt is actually a part of a much bigger ride that we did from Sydney to Perth and back for 12,000 kilometers. So do remember to check that out on our YouTube channel, and of course on Instagram. You can probably see all the posts with this hashtag. And of course also remember to pick up the xBhp print magazine. If you're not in India, you can go to Maxter and just type xBhp and you'll get that issue when it's out, which should be in June 2024.